All right, guys, one more thing to touch on, and this is a long one. Thanks, everybody, for hanging with us here. It's been a long roundtable. We'll do this kind of quick. This is the conversation du jour in Patriots Nation, though, as it were. Again, it's Alex Barth with Michael Longi and Mike Petralia. And let's take a road down the worst-case scenario. Report for me and Rapport this week is that Rob Gronkowski will be back. Business as usual, even though apparently he didn't enjoy last season. Let's say he doesn't come back. Let's say the Patriots lose perhaps the best weapon any NFL team has had since Barry Sanders. What's the contingency plan here? Because that's what nobody's talking about to me. People are talking about won't he be back? What happens if he's not? Are you going into the season with Martellus Bennett and Dwayne Allen as your top two tight ends? What do you guys think?
You might have to. And, certainly the Patriots aren't going to make any panic moves. They're not going to overpay somebody just to bring him in to be an insurance policy to Rob Gronkowski. I think their attitude is, look, we're under the impression that Rob Gronkowski is working out. He's in his workout program, his workout regimen, and he has every intention of playing this year. And I think if, for whatever reason, if that drastically changed, they'd roll with it and come up with some. Look, the Patriots have always had a versatile offense. They got to the Super Bowl without Rob Gronkowski a couple of years ago and won the Super Bowl without Rob Gronkowski. They would not panic. It would not be an ideal situation. Tom Brady wouldn't be thrilled with that. But I don't think they would go out and make some type of blockbuster move just to compensate for the loss of Rob Gronkowski to retirement if that were to happen.
Yeah, for me, I think it's just kind of I always assumed that the Patriots would go after a tight end in the draft anyway. Now, maybe if you find out before the draft happens that Rob Gronkowski is retiring, maybe you decide that you're going to go a little higher up in the draft after a tight end, maybe like something like that. But I think they'll draft a quote unquote Rob Gronkowski replacement, regardless of whether Rob Gronkowski is coming back or not this year, just because they need to get that done. I know, Trags, I know you talked about it on Patriots Beat this week with Mark Daniels of the Providence Journal. It's just something they need to do. Rob Gronkowski, whether he's back or not, is an injury risk. You're going to need another tight end, another guy like that. Obviously, they traded away A.J. Derby last year. Jacob Hollister, a little more of a receiving tight end as opposed to the all-around tight end that Gronk is. I think they probably try to go after a guy in the draft and approach it that way.
So I said this when Calvin Johnson retired, relatively young. If Rob Gronkowski does retire, I do think the Patriots make a big move, and I think that move is trading Rob Gronkowski. Remember, when he retires, the Patriots still hold his contract rights. So I wonder, as with how good Gronk is, just the possibility of him, if they could trade his contract rights away and get a decent tight end, find a team with two or a decent draft pick, find a team that it's maybe not ready right now, would be willing to let Gronk sit out the year, trade his contract rights away, and then let that team try to drag him back into things. And that is maybe where they could get the replacement. Mike, you mentioned the draft. A guy I really like out of Wisconsin, Troy Fumagalli, 6'4" tight end. Got big hands, even though he's only got 9 fingers, missing a pinky. Excellent blocker, good receiver, even with the missing pinky. And I watched a couple Wisconsin games this year. I've watched a tape on him a little bit. I don't want to say he reminds me of Rob Gronkowski, but his college tape reminds me a lot of Rob Gronkowski's college tape. Gronk wasn't the animal at Arizona he is now. That came later. Troy Fumagalli kind of has that upside where he's a tenacious blocker. He loves to block, excellent route runner, doesn't quit on plays. I think when you get him into an NFL workout regimen, get him into NFL practices, he is a guy that does have that high ceiling. He's projected as a 5th-round pick right now because he is a little on the smaller side weight-wise. He wasn't really as much of a factor in Wisconsin's offense as he maybe could have been, but I think that was more the program than the player. That's the guy I have my eyes on. Gronkowski or not as Troy Fumagalli, but I think they could get a shorter-term solution by trading away Rob Gronkowski's draft rights and either picking up another tight end or a pick by doing that. Maybe I'm out of my mind. I don't know, but I was surprised when Detroit didn't trade away Calvin Johnson's contract rights after he retired. I really was. I thought that was a no-brainer for them, and I think they cost themselves a good player by doing so.
Keep your eyes on.
I think it's just a tough sell to another team. You know what I mean? It's just you're going to have to
I'm
really.
not saying it's easy, but I mean.
Right.
Didn't the Raiders got, what, a 4th-round pick for a 34-year-old Marshawn Lynch? Like, I think the value's there for the right team, and I think there is a team that would be willing to do it. There's got to be an NFL team that would say, you know what? Yeah, we'll give up a day 2 draft pick for a chance to have Rob Gronkowski. I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility.
Yeah, maybe it's the Raiders again. Maybe they're willing to take that kind of risk, and Jay Gruden would love to have 1 year of Rob Gronkowski for Derek Carr. Certainly I mean, that's not out of the realm of possibility that if Gronkowski were to want to sit out this year, that the Patriots would consider that possibility, but the Patriots would cross that bridge when they get to it. Just remember this one name, Hayden Hurst, the tight end out of South Carolina, played for Will Muschamp, and certainly Belichick and Will Muschamp have a good relationship between the college and the pros. If there's one guy that I think the Patriots would love to get their hands on to try and replace Rob Gronkowski, he'd be it.
Mike, you got any? I threw out one try. So when you got any draft names here?
Honestly, I couldn't tell you on the tight end spot. I haven't looked that deeply into it. I do like I like Fumagalli. I like the South Carolina. I'm sorry, I'm blanking on his name. Hurst. I like him as well. I think it'd be tough just to get. They'd probably have to draft him at 31 or their first, second round pick. I don't know if they're gonna, like you said, Trags. I think they might go after a linebacker at that spot. But yeah, listen, if there's any question about Rob Gronkowski, you're gonna want the best tight end you could possibly get to come onto your team. So yeah, I think if they need to pull the trigger on that, they will. But I don't know. I'd probably try to wait till the later rounds. If you can get Fumagalli in the 5th round, I think you'd probably try to do that.
Just a couple other names, more names we say, the more chances we're right. Mark Andrews out of Oklahoma, especially if you draft Baker Mayfield, going back to what we talked about earlier. The other one, this one's real interesting. I saw one person had this in a mock draft. I don't remember where it was. Dallas Goedert out of South Carolina State, 6'4", 260, and he's going to run an impressive 40 at the combine. We know Belichick loves his small school guys, and that's a guy, against South Dakota State. Not North Dakota State, not Carson Wentz School, South Dakota State. That's a guy you should be able to get on day 3. All right, that's going to do it for this CLNS Patriots Roundtable, brought to you by DraftKings. You can use the promo code CLNS at DraftKings.com. Also brought to you by RxBar. Again, use the promo code CLNS at RxBar.com for a discount off of your order. Guys, any final thoughts here real quick before we wrap it up?
I can't wait to see all of the mock drafts. That's what I'm going to be doing for the next 2 to 3 weeks straight, reading mock draft after mock draft after mock draft. It's the greatest time of the year in the NFL offseason, and it should be fun. And I think the Patriots are going to have a lot of questions to answer in the next couple of weeks.
Maybe put together a CLNS mock draft. Maybe that's something we should put in the works.
I think that's doable, Alex. I think that's doable.
We'll talk. All right, Michael Angie, final thoughts.
I'm on the same page, guys. I do love this time of year. As a football junkie, I enjoy, watching the combine and watch, as ridiculous as it is, with the shirts and underwear Olympics and all that stuff. I do love watching it. And I love, all the breakdowns and all the, is this guy going to go here? Is this guy going to go here? Are these teams going to trade? All this different things. And then we haven't even talked about, the free agency aspect of it. This is the greatest time of the year, as Trag said, in the NFL offseason. And I can't wait for the next few weeks to play out. 3
words for you guys: quarterback, hand, size. It's all I care about for the next 2 weeks.
There it is.
So we'll have more, of course, leading up to the draft, through free agency, the combine, all of it at CLNSmedia.com. You can follow us on Twitter at PatriotsCLNS. For Michael Angie and Mike Petralia, my name's Alex Barr. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.